please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
On this death-defying episode of MythBusters, it's all guns blazing as Adam and Jamie take another aim at what is bulletproof.
Oh, check out my new bulletproof vest, man!
From pocket protection to homemade remedies. And even the human body itself.
That's what is in your gut.
Meanwhile, Carrie takes a swing at a Kill Bill myth. She and the boys get beaten black and blue as they find out if you can first punch through.
He's alive!
And then climb out of a coffin that's buried 6 feet under. Who are the MythBusters?
Oh, that's pretty.
Adam Savage.
I love results!
And Jamie Heineman.
Bye-bye.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Rise, my son.
Joining them, Tori Belleci.
Is this as disturbing as I think it is?
Grant Imahara.
Have you lost your damn mind?
And Carrie Byron.
That was a rush!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. First up, it's bulletproof in the firing line.
Well, you're looking pretty bulletproof there. I'm feeling pretty well protected from bullets, and that begs the question.
What's bulletproof?
Exactly. Ever since we aired our first What is Bulletproof episode, the fans have inundated us with all sorts of crazy suggestions for bizarre things that might be bulletproof. And that means that it's time for the MythBusters. What is bulletproof?
Part 2.
Exactly.
It was way back in season 3. A fresh-faced Adam and Jamie separated firearms folklore
Dead center.
from ballistics baloney. Ever since, fans have been crying out for more. So now it's time to make your day.
What's on the list?
Well, first up for bulletproof, we've got a host of objects that you might be holding or wearing. Things like police badges, MP3 players, and even pizza.
Sounds pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of setup.
No, it's just get out to the shooting range, shoot at stuff, and find out what's bulletproof.
Yep, it's as simple as that. So they head straight to the firing range with their ballistics gel dummy.
You know,
Who's going to take one for the team? First up, Adam's wishing on a shooting star.
So the story goes that a police officer was shot by a perp at close range with a .40 caliber pistol, but the police officer was saved by his badge, which stopped the bullet.
It's a stellar story, all right. An officer saved by his badge when shot at close range. But did it really happen?
let's get in place and do it.
Well, to find out, Adam steps up with an identical handgun.
Gun is loaded.
And he's aiming at a standard issue silver police badge.
This is called a star. Now, we had this specially made by the same company that makes them for the police. This one is made out of sterling silver.
Could it really stop a slug?
Range is hot. Clear to fire.
3, 2, 1.
It's a direct hit. So what's the verdict?
That doesn't look like it stopped it.
Shut the top of the star off.
She's no bulletproof.
No.
The bullet clipped the star, but passed right through the dummy.
I can see the path of the bullet right there, heading all the way up through the gel and exiting there.
And that would make any dude one dead duck.
So what's up next?
Well, silver's out. Next up, we've got a badge which is called a shield, and it's got a copper back with a bronze star.
Okay.
It's a different badge, but will it be a different result?
Gun is loaded.
Adam lines it up in his sights. But just like test 1, he hasn't hit it dead center again.
That was low and to the left.
And for bronze on copper take 2, it's a much better shot.
Oh, looks like I slid off the star.
Yep, he's hit the center star. And this time, the results are surprising.
Look at that. Unlike
There's-
every other bullet we've fired that's gone all the way through, this one is stopped in the middle.
So that extra piece slowed it down.
It slowed down significantly. There might actually be something to this.
Although the bullet was definitely slowed down, it was still a lethal shot. So it's on to the third and final badge.
Nickel badge with a bronze star.
It's tougher than the others, but is it bulletproof?
Hey, if I have to hazard a guess, I don't think that this, even with these 2 pieces of metal, is going to stop this bullet.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
How did I do?
Amazingly, the badge actually catches the cap.
Whoa!
Dude! And just as amazing, for the first time that I can remember, Adam's speechless.
Holy cramoly.
The bullet struck the star dead on, and the shield stopped it flat. The wearer can thank his lucky stars because he'd be safe.
If I was a policeman and this happened to me, you know what? I'd still wear the badge. It'd be like, I've already had the worst day possible. You can't make it any worse.
So while bronze and nickel fail to deliver, gold goes to the nickel. A bulletproof result that slates this story as plausible. Next up, we've got a real cracker.
Is it Casual Friday?
What's going on here?
Oh, wait a minute. Yellow tracksuit, sword. We're doing Kill Bill myths.
The fans can't get enough of our martial arts myths. And in fact, since the Ninja special, we've been inundated with requests to do the coffin punch scene from Kill Bill.
That's the scene where she's buried alive and she punches her way through the casket, climbs through 6 feet of dirt with her bare hands.
Right. No sword, right?
There's no sword.
Okay, put the sword down.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
It's a chilling scene that nightmares are made of, as our yellow-suited heroine literally gets buried alive. Trapped 6 feet under, escape seems impossible. Unless, of course, you are a trained martial arts assassin. So, undeterred by being interred, our heroine uses a series of 3-inch power punches, cracks the casket, worms through the soil, and lives to take her revenge. But is such a death-defying deed really doable?
All right, you guys, how do you want to test this one?
Well, I think the biggest issue is going to be the fact that she didn't have a lot of room to punch. She only had about 3 inches. So we have to see how much force you can generate from just a 3-inch punch.
Then I think we should get a real coffin and see how much force it takes to break through that.
All right, well, assuming we can punch through the lid, then we need to find out if you can dig through 6 feet of dirt with your bare hands.
Well, before we even get to that, how are we going to test force? Last time we tested the force of a punch, we almost broke Tori's hand.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got a brand new technique. I guarantee you no one is going to get hurt.
Last time they tested punching power, Grant's invention busted more fists than myths. So this time, he's gone high-tech.
I've got a TechScan flexible sensor, plugs into a USB evolution handle, and that goes into my computer. The computer will be able to record the exact amount of force applied to the sensor.
With our trio unable to punch their way out of a paper bag, they head off to meet a real punching pro, mixed martial arts maestro John Fitch.
How often do you get to meet an actual professional MMA fighter, but we get a chance to actually work with him and measure how much strength he has in his punch? I mean, this is like a dream come true.
But does Fitch the Fist have what it takes to tackle this coffin punching myth? Well, here's one way to find out. Tori's mom, in fact, any members of the Bellacci family, they want to avert their eyes. Yep, in less than 1 minute, Boom Boom's doomed.
That's it. Good night.
Meaning Fitchy's the fighter they're after. So now it's time to crunch the numbers.
We brought our whole measurement system, and we're going to measure his punch force. I'll take his actual fighting glove and calibrate that with our punching bag and see exactly how hard he can punch.
So this is our makeshift casket. You're going to lay down on your back and punch up at the sensor.
The fist assumes the position. Cramped as though in a casket, it's this punch that's key to this myth. So what's the verdict?
So check this out. Your force on your back at coffin height, 1,482 pounds.
So a trained fighter can 3-inch punch with 1,500 pounds of force. So now the boys need to bury themselves in this myth. Later, Tori literally puts his life on the line. But next, can pizza prohibit a projectile?
Another reason to love pepperoni pizza.
Out on the range, the MythBusters have discovered that a standard issue police badge can block a bullet. So, what's next?
Next, we got another relatively hard object that you might find in the average shirt pocket. The MP3 player, supposedly stopped around from an AK-47.
Looks like a little bit bigger of a target. You think you can hit it?
Yeah. I think I can hit it, old man. Let's go.
So this story goes that an AK-47 slug was stopped by a soldier's MP3 player. But Adam, for one, ain't convinced.
What's in there? Well, I'll tell you. This back metal plate's actually pretty thin, about a 32nd of an inch, stamped metal. This front part is polycarbonate. In there is a spinning hard drive and a single board of electronics and not much else. Not a lot of bullet-stopping potential. That's my expert opinion.
With the MP3 player ready to rock and roll, that just leaves the gun. A 100% genuine AK-47.
I kind of have a penchant for firing it. Do you mind?
No.
So while Jamie tackles the tunes, Adam feels okay with the AK.
Here we go.
AK-47 into an MP3 player.
Okay, it's a smash hit, but there's a problem.
Well, that's one way to get the battery out.
Our sharpshooter wasn't so sharp. From just 10 feet away, he barely hit it. For a reliable result, they're going to have to reload.
Yeah, I think we need to take another shot.
Yeah, I think I do.
Or maybe I get to take another shot.
No. I get to make this work.
So Adam, determined to get at least one round on the charts, sets up for a repeat run. This time, the MP3's down. But did the bullet go through?
Oh, wait. I can see you. All the way through that.
Yep, just like this MP3 player, this myth is full of holes.
Like any good myth, this one has a grain of truth in it. And our researchers did in fact turn up evidence that a soldier was hit by an AK-47 round. It went through his MP3 player and he survived. But here's the catch. He was also wearing body armor. Now, body armor, MP3 player, what do you think stopped the round? My money has it on body armor.
And after all that sharpshooting, time to tackle an even tastier tale.
Supposedly, pizza delivery boy finds himself being fired upon by a shotgun, holds his bag of pizzas in front of him, and it saves his life.
Okay, well, let's lock and load.
How's this for pizza pizzazz? The story goes that a delivery boy, peppered by shotgun pellets, was saved by 3 pizzas. Well, not just his pizzas. Don't forget about the warmer pack.
We've got your standard pizza delivery insulating bag here with some heavy synthetic fabric, webbing, some stuffing for insulation, inside satiny kind of synthetic, 3 cardboard boxes full of 3 pizzas, that's 6 layers of cardboard. It's a lot of stuff to get through, but something tells me, little bird just tells me that it's not going to give that shotgun blast much resistance.
But that all depends on the shotgun rounds you choose, something that's mysteriously missing from the myth.
My guess is that he would have been shot with bird shot, and that's what's in here. It's a really fine shot, little tiny BBs, and these aren't going to have a whole lot of penetrating power, so I wouldn't be surprised if pizza will stop them sooner or later. Bird shot into 3 pizzas. 3, 2, 1.
Jamie bangs off the bird shot from 10 feet.
Dude, not a lot made it through that pizza box.
In fact, only about a half dozen BBs made it all the way through.
I don't think we can call it definitively lethal. Dangerous, yes, but I don't think we can call that a lethal hit. It seems like this actually did something useful against birdshot.
I would say so.
Another reason to love pepperoni pizza.
And that's probably what the pizza guy felt too. But what about if a badass shot buckshot, not birdshot?
These are effectively like plain old bullets, and they'll penetrate quite well. Buckshot in 3, 2, 1.
So, how did the buckshot stack up?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They almost all of them, if not all of them, made it through.
Yeah.
1.
With the buckshot penetrating with ease, the MythBusters can't help but take this one to the extreme.
Both Jamie and I are now compelled to answer the following burning question, which is, how many pizzas does it take to attain something that is totally resistant to buckshot? And that's what we're about to answer.
Call it random, but they pit 15 pizzas in 5 warmer packs against a 9-pellet buckshot blast. And Jamie's getting a real taste for it.
1.
They unleash pure buckshot power. But did it make it through?
Box number 1.
And what do you know? The buckshot cleared the crusts clean through to box number 5.
They didn't make it through the back. Wait, we gotta open this up. Pizza number 14. Oh, it stopped. 14 pizzas.
So it kind of worked. The buckshot stopped at pizza number 14. But would it sell as a bulletproof vest?
Oh, check out my new bulletproof vest, man. Oh, you cannot mess with me.
You know, we shoot 20 hours of material for every hour that goes to air.
Which means some of our best stuff never even makes it on the show.
But not anymore.
We've been cherry-picking the best unseen clips and putting them up on the web for you.
So log on to discovery.com/MythBusters and check it out.
And animated Carrie, Tori, and Grant are putting Kill Bill to the test. They're trying to find out if you can cuff your way out of a coffin. And with punch data gathered from martial arts expert John Fitch, next, the team needs a casket. And that's where Carrie comes in.
make it as realistic as possible, so I'm gonna use all the same materials, I'm gonna make it all the same size, and then we can see for ourselves if we can punch through a real casket.
It's 3/4-inch pine made to funeral and movie specifications and comes with a see-through side for testing purposes. Then there's the grave site. That's Tori's contribution.
So I've come up with a design to test this safely. What I'm going to do is build a box that will hold the 6 feet of dirt. And then what I'm going to do is raise that up off the ground 4 feet with steel legs. And then what I'm going to do is put the casket underneath that box. Once I have the casket in, we have the dirt in place, and we can start testing whether or not it's possible to break through the casket and dig through 6 feet of dirt.
More on that later, because right now it's on to the punch itself. With John Fitch unavailable, that's down to Grant. And no prizes for guessing his design.
That's right. I'm gonna build a robot. Using the robot, we'll match it to John Fitch's punching strength, and then try and punch the coffin lid.
And thanks to the wonder of editing, it's a case of no sooner said than done. Voila, a robotic punching machine that can give the coffin a fearful coffin.
I think it's working.
And that means RoboFist is ready for a test.
And I'm just gonna dial up the pressure until the robot can punch as hard as John Fitch.
Remember, even with a tiny 3-inch punch, John Fitch managed a whopping 1,400-pound wallop. Grant's going to have to match that exactly. Grant gets things rolling just short of 200 PSI.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
And what do you know?
So, at 185 PSI, the robot is punching at 1,430 pounds, which is exactly in the range that John Fitch can punch. And it's punching at the right speed. So now, it's time to bring in a casket and see how the robot does against that.
Still to come, the punching robot
2, 1.
comes out fighting.
That's 150 punches.
But next, the boys chew the fat in What is Bulletproof?
That is wrong.
Next up in the Bullet Bonanza, body parts.
What's up next?
Well, people come in all shapes and sizes, and the fans' next question to us is there a shape or size that could render someone bulletproof? I.e., could someone provide enough fatty tissue or muscle tissue to where a bullet wouldn't get to their vital organs?
I don't know why, but that's kind of twisted.
Which means you like it.
Yeah.
All right, back to the range.
People come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but can you ever be so big, be it muscly or obese, that you can be bulletproof? Well, back at the range, knowing Jamie's fondness for lard, the boys are starting with fat.
That is what is in your gut.
Actually, Adam, it's what's in a cow's gut. Pure bovine blubber.
Oh, yeah.
To be at the correct consistency, the fat needs to be at human body temperature of 98 degrees. So, first up, it gets a nice warm bath.
That is wrong.
But how much fat might they need to stop a bullet? The record for the greatest gut ever was awarded to Walter Hudson, who had a ginormous girth of nearly 10 feet. That equates to a layer of 16 inches of fat right round his belly. So, that's the number to beat.
You ready to pack some fat?
I don't like the sound of that.
With no time to chew the fat, the boys load the 16 inches of lard into the dummy's tummy to replicate Walter's waistline.
Now, you're gonna need all the fat for this recipe, so don't lick the mixing spoon.
The acrylic tube of fat represents belly. The tube of ballistics gel represents vital organs.
For fat to be an effective bullet stopper, it's going to have to be stopped before it makes it through all of this fat into the ballistics gel in the torso here. Is it going to actually do that? My guess is it might actually make it through.
And they're starting slow by using a .45 handgun that fires at just 900 feet a second.
Which means, if this makes it all the way through our fat and vital organs, every other kind of round we could fire would as well.
In other words, if the world record amount of fat can't foil the slowest slug, it's Mayday for the myth.
Eyes and ears, clear to fire.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Well, nice clean center hit. Ah! Made it all the way through.
So not only did the fat not stop it, the internal organs didn't either. They went right out his back and kept them going.
So there you have it. The idea that an obese human is carrying a homegrown bulletproof vest is blown away.
So the question, will fat stop a bullet? Sure, eventually, but not in anything human.
So Adam and Jamie move on to a more meaty medium.
Our stunt double for muscle today is going to be what's called knuckle meat, or top round, and it comes from the rump of a cow.
And how much rump is on the table?
We found a guy with pectorals that were 3 inches thick and biceps that were 11 inches thick. And then we posited, what if you were shooting at him? And what if he then took that massive bicep, put it in front of that massive pectoral, and became superhumanly bulletproof?
It's true that bodybuilders with all that rippling muscle sure look tough. But are they tough enough to stop a bullet?
Firing into muscle with a .45 caliber. And 3, 2, 1.
The bullet made a neat entry hole. But did the muscle man make it?
Dude, check it out when I move it.
Yeah, I can see it clear as day.
That's an exit hole.
And that it is.
Yep, sure enough, it too is busted. Back at M7, Cary, Grant, and Tori have built a robot to punch with the power of martial arts expert John Fish. Now it's time to test the Kill Bill myth. Can you really punch your way out of a pine box? The team lays the RoboFist to rest,
This is how they do it in Hollywood, Carrie. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
nails down the lid, and they're ready for a dirt-free preliminary test.
Now, sharp-eyed viewers may note that there's no dirt on top of our casket. But right now, we're just trying to isolate the casket and see whether, in theory, it's possible to punch your way through.
Meanwhile, Cary's worked out the correct punch-to-air ratio if you get buried alive.
After about 45 minutes, you're going to lose air inside your casket and you're going to pass out. Now, John Fitch says that he can punch about 20 times per minute. So we figure out the parameters for our miss should be set at about half an hour or 600 punches. If you can't get out after 600 punches, well, you might not be getting out.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's
Ready.
break him out.
So RoboFist comes out swinging,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
and almost immediately cracks start to appear.
He's alive.
Yep, the lid is split.
Punch through.